The balcony doors were left open on purpose. She knows that because she left them that way. The late evening air spills into the Duke's private study, cool against the warmth of candlelight. Music from the banquet below drifts faintly upward, strings and laughter and the soft clink of goblets. She needed a moment away, not from the celebration, from him. He has been watching her all night. Not in the obvious way Lord Brenner watches women, with open hunger and lazy entitlement. The Duke watches differently, measured, aware, quietly focused, and it has been undoing her composure since the first toast. "You're restless tonight," he had murmured earlier at the high table. "I'm not. You are." And that had been the end of it. He never pushes in public. He simply observes. And waits. Now she stands alone on the stone balcony overlooking the courtyard below. Torches line the walls. Lanterns sway gently. The night sky stretches wide and dark above the estate. Her fingers rest lightly against the cool stone railing. She exhales slowly. "You left without excusing yourself." His voice comes from behind her. Steady, low, unmistakable. She does not turn. "I needed air. You could have said so. I didn't think it required permission." "It doesn't." A pause. "But I prefer knowing where you are." The honesty in that settles heavier than it should. "I'm on your balcony," she replies calmly. "Yes." His footsteps cross the threshold behind her. Slow, measured, boots against stone. He doesn't crowd her immediately. He never does. The space between them remains respectful, deliberate. "You've avoided me all evening," he says. "I've been speaking to guests. You've been avoiding me." She almost smiles at the certainty in his tone. "And why would I do that?" His voice lowers slightly. "Because you don't like the way I've been looking at you." Her pulse shifts. She keeps her gaze on the courtyard below. "You're very confident." "No." "Then what?" "Observant." The night breeze brushes her hair across her shoulder. She resists the urge to smooth it back. "You're imagining tension where there is none," she says. "I'm not." The air feels tighter now. He steps closer. Still not touching. Still not invading. But close enough that she feels the warmth of him behind her. "You don't like when I stand too near in public," he says quietly. "You're my Duke." "Yes." "People watch." "Yes." And they assume. They always assume. The music below swells briefly, then softens again. "You stepped between me and Lord Brenner earlier," she says without turning. "Yes." "You didn't need to." "Yes, I did." "You're very sure." "I am." "And why?" she asks evenly. "Did you feel the need?" His voice is calm. "Because he touched your back. It was harmless." "No." She exhales slowly. "You don't get to decide that." "I don't." "Then why act like you do?" His silence stretches just long enough to make her aware of her heartbeat. "Because I didn't like it," he says. The honesty is quiet, unforced. She swallows. "That's not a reason." "It is for me." The breeze shifts again, lifting the fabric of her gown slightly against her legs. He steps closer. Now there is barely a breath of space between them. She feels him there. Solid. Present. Not touching. "You're very bold tonight," she murmurs. "I've been restrained for months." Her pulse stutters faintly. Restrained from what? "From turning you around when you look at me like that." Her breath catches despite herself. She doesn't respond immediately. He is close enough now that she feels the warmth of his breath near her shoulder. "Look at you like what?" she asks quietly. "Like you want me to stop pretending." The words land heavily. She grips the railing slightly tighter. "You assume too much." "No." "You're certain again." "Yes." Silence falls between them. The courtyard laughter drifts upward faintly. "You don't get to decide this moment alone," she says softly. "I'm not." "Then what are you doing?" He steps closer still. Not touching, but near enough that the back of her arm almost brushes his chest. "I'm waiting," he says. "For what?" "For you to turn around." Her heart pounds harder now. "You're very dramatic." "No." "Then what is this?" His voice lowers. "Honesty. You like that word too much." "I like precision." "And what is precise about cornering me on a balcony?" "I haven't cornered you. You're standing very close." "Yes." "And you're not moving." "No." She feels it then, the deliberate stillness in him. The patience. "You will not touch her first. Not without invitation. Don't turn around." The whisper is so close she feels it against the back of her neck. Her breath stutters. "What?" "Don't turn around," he repeats, softer. Her pulse jumps. "That's not a request," she says. "It is." It doesn't sound like one. It is. The night air suddenly feels warmer. You're testing me, she murmurs. Yes. And what happens if I do turn? His voice shifts lower. Then I'll have to stop pretending. The honesty makes her knees feel faintly weak. You're impossible, she whispers. Yes. And reckless. Yes. The back of her shoulder barely brushes his chest now. Not intentional. His hand slides slowly from the back of her neck to the curve where her shoulder meets it. Not wandering, not indecent, but intimate. Yes. The word is low, almost rough. The music below swells briefly and fades again. You stepped between me and Lord Brenner because of this, she says quietly. Yes. You don't own that right. No. Then why act like you do? His voice remains calm. I didn't act like I owned you. No. No. He leans closer. So close now that she feels the warmth of his breath along the sensitive skin beneath her ear. I acted like I didn't want anyone else touching you, he says. Her breath falters. That's dangerously close to possession. It isn't. Then what is it? His lips hovered just at the edge of her skin. Honesty. The word brushes her neck with the faintest warmth. Her fingers tighten against the railing. You're very bold tonight, she whispers. I've been restrained long enough. His hand at her shoulder slides slightly downward along her upper arm, slow, deliberate, before returning to the base of her neck. The touch is controlled, careful, but it leaves heat in its wake. You can still walk away, he murmurs. She could. She knows she could. The balcony doors are open. The corridor is right behind them. All she has to do is turn and step aside. Instead, she exhales, slowly, deliberately. His hand tightens ever so slightly in response. You're not moving, he says. No. And you haven't told me to stop. No. His breath warms her skin again. Then don't turn around, he whispers once more. This time, his lips brush her neck. It is not aggressive, not claiming, not consuming. Just a slow, deliberate press of warmth against skin. Her entire body reacts. A sharp inhale, a slight arch of her spine. Her fingers slip from the railing. The kiss lingers, just long enough to be undeniable. When he pulls back an inch, his breath follows the path of where his mouth had been. You're trembling, he murmurs. I'm not. You are. Her pulse races violently now. You're very aware of what you're doing, she says softly. Yes. And you're not stopping. No. His mouth lowers again. This time the kiss is slower. A little firmer. Still controlled. Still respectful. But no longer tentative. Her hand lifts from the railing. Not to push him away. Not to stop him. It hovers briefly in the air between them. Then settles over his wrist. Not resisting. Holding. He notices immediately. His hand stills. You're certain, he says quietly against her skin. Yes. You're not just enduring this. No. His lips move again, trailing slightly along the curve where her neck meets her shoulder. The touch is warm, measured, deliberate. Her knees feel faintly unsteady. You're dangerous, she whispers. Only if you want me to be. Her grip tightens slightly around his wrist. You don't look dangerous, she says softly. No. No. You look very certain. He pauses, then lifts his mouth from her neck. His hand remains at her shoulder. You can turn around now, he murmurs. Her breath catches. Why? Because I don't want you wondering. Wondering what? What my face looks like when I kiss you. The honesty nearly undoes her. Slowly, she turns. Not abruptly, not defensively, just enough. Their eyes meet. He is close, closer than before. His gaze is darker now, less restrained, but still steady, still waiting. You're not smiling, she says softly. No, you usually smile when you think you've won. This isn't winning. What is it? Choosing. Her pulse stutters. You don't look like a man who's waiting, she says. I am. For what? For you to step back. She doesn't. Instead, her hand slides from his wrist to his chest. Flat, feeling the steady rhythm beneath. You're not calm, she murmurs. No, you pretend to be. Yes. And now, his hand moves from her shoulder to her waist. Firm, grounding. Now I don't see the point in pretending. Her breath deepens. The courtyard below feels impossibly far away. You told me not to turn around, she says softly. Yes. And now I want to see your face. She swallows. You're very sure I won't leave. No, you're not. No. His voice lowers. But if you were going to, you would have already. Her fingers tighten in his tunic. You're very certain of that? Yes. He leans closer. Their foreheads almost touch. His hand at her waist presses slightly firmer. Not pulling, not forcing, but closing the last breath of space between them. You kissed my neck, she says quietly. Yes. Without asking. Yes. And if I had turned away, I would have stopped. The answer is immediate. Certain. She believes him. And that is what makes the heat deepen. You're reckless, she whispers. Yes. And impossible. Yes. His gaze drops briefly to her lips, then returns to her eyes. You're still here, he murmurs. Yes. And you're not angry. No. And you haven't stepped back. No. The repetition tightens the air between them. Her hand slides upward slightly along his chest. Testing. Not pushing. Just feeling. You're not the only one who's done pretending, she says softly. Something shifts in his expression. Is that so? Yes. Her breath brushes his mouth. And if I kiss you now? He doesn't hesitate. I won't stop you. The words hang between them. Heavy. Deliberate. She studies his face for a long moment. And then, she doesn't step back. She doesn't step back. That is the moment everything shifts. Her hand remains flat against his chest. She feels the steady strength beneath her palm. Not frantic, not uncontrolled, but no longer distant. And if I kiss you now, she had asked, I won't stop you. He meant it. She sees that clearly in his eyes. Not arrogance, not conquest. Waiting. For her. The music from the banquet swells faintly below them, violins rising into something light and celebratory. Absurdly cheerful compared to the tension suspended between them. Her breath brushes his mouth. You're very sure I won't regret this, she murmurs. No, you're not. No. His hand at her waist tightens slightly. Grounding, not trapping. But I'm sure you wouldn't be here if you would. The honesty makes her chest feel too tight. He has not cornered her. He has not demanded. He has not assumed. He stepped between her and another man. He followed her onto the balcony. He kissed her neck. And every time, he waited. She studies him for one final moment. Then she closes the distance. The kiss is deliberate. Not rushed. Not stolen. Her mouth meets his with steady certainty. For half a breath, he stills, as if absorbing the fact that she chose this. Then his hand moves from her waist to the small of her back, pulling her closer. Not roughly. Not desperately. Just enough that the space between them disappears. The kiss deepens gradually. His mouth is warm, controlled, sure. She feels the restraint in him, even now. He is not overwhelming her. He is matching her. Her fingers slide upward, gripping the front of his tunic. The contact grounds her as much as it does him. When he tilts his head slightly, the kiss shifts, more certain, less cautious. Her breath trembles into him. His thumb presses lightly at the curve of her waist, steady and firm. When he finally pulls back, it is only to look at her. Her lips are flushed. Her breath uneven. Her eyes clear. Not confused. Not startled. Certain. You're still here, he murmurs. Yes. You're not angry. No. You're not stepping away. She shakes her head slightly. No. His forehead rests against hers. The intimacy of the gesture is softer than the kiss. You turned around, he says quietly. Yes. And you kissed me. Yes. I didn't have to pretend. No. The music swells again from below, laughter following. The world continues. Oblivious. You understand what this means, he says. Yes. If we walk back in there, they'll see. Yes. And they'll assume. They already do. His mouth curves faintly. You don't sound concerned. I'm not. His hand slides slowly up her back, not wandering, not indecent, just resting firmly between her shoulder blades. You don't care if they think I claimed you, he says. You didn't. No. No. She meets his gaze steadily. I chose you. The words land heavily between them. Clear. Undeniable. Something shifts in him then. Not pride, not possession, but something deeper. He straightens slightly. His hand remains at her back. You're certain, he says. Yes. Because once we step inside, we don't pretend anymore. The certainty in her voice steadies him. He studies her for a long moment, as if making absolutely sure. You don't want distance, he says. No. You don't want caution. No. You want. She steps closer before he finishes. I want honesty. The word hangs between them. The same word he's used all night. His mouth curves faintly. You've been pretending too, he says. Yes. Why? Because you're my Duke. And I wasn't certain where that line ended. His hand tightens slightly at her back. And now, she doesn't hesitate. I don't care where it ends. The admission shifts the air again. He leans in once more, not for a consuming kiss this time, but a slower one. Measured, deep, certain. When they part, he doesn't release her. He takes her hand instead. Not hidden, not subtle, firm. Then we don't hide, he says. No. He guides her toward the balcony doors. They pause just before stepping inside. The study is warm with candlelight. The corridor beyond leads directly back to the banquet hall. You don't have to stand beside me, he says quietly. I know. You can walk ahead. No. You're sure? Yes. Her fingers tighten in his. When they enter the corridor, 2 servants pass. They slow. They notice. He doesn't let go of her hand. The walk back to the banquet hall feels longer than before. Every step echoes. Every torch flickers too brightly. The music grows louder as they approach. You're calm, she says quietly. No. You look calm. I've practiced. She almost smiles. And now, he glances at her. Now I don't see the point. The doors to the hall open. Music spills out fully now, bright, celebratory. Conversation swells. Dozens of faces. And then, they see. The Duke enters first. She is beside him, not trailing, not separate. Beside, his hand rests at her lower back now. Open, visible, unmistakable. Conversation softens. Not silence, but awareness. Lord Brynner looks up first. His gaze flickers between them. He understands. So does everyone else. The Duke does not step between them this time. He doesn't need to, because she doesn't move away. She remains at his side. Someone approaches, a visiting noble with too eager politeness. The Duke listens, responds calmly. His hand never leaves her back. And when the noble's gaze lingers too long, she shifts closer to the Duke on her own. Subtle, deliberate, chosen. The message is clear. Later, when the music slows and the dancers fill the floor, he turns to her. You're very certain tonight, he murmurs. Yes. And you're not retreating. No. He extends his hand. Then dance with me. She takes it. Not because it is expected. Because she wants to. On the floor, beneath candlelight and watching eyes, his hand settles at her waist. Her fingers rest against his shoulder. They move slowly, measured, steady. You kissed my neck, she says quietly. Yes. You told me not to turn around. Yes. And if I hadn't, I would have waited. She studies him. And if I hadn't kissed you, I would have. The honesty makes her laugh softly. You're very patient. Yes. And very certain. Yes. The music slows. He draws her slightly closer. Not scandalous. Not improper. But undeniable. You're not pretending anymore, he says. No. Neither am I. She meets his gaze steadily. Good. Because the truth is simple. He whispered for her not to turn around. He kissed her neck. But the moment that mattered was when she turned anyway, and chose him, in front of everyone.